Hey there, Sagittarius. Welcome to your reading for the week of November 13th. We're just going to jump right in here. You have this health and this influence card. I would watch your health at this time. I mean, everybody has pretty much had has had something about their health. Again, I'm not a doctor, so do not take this as medical advice, but, do whatever you do to, stay healthy. It's just that simple. With that influence card and the devil showing up here, I would definitely be careful of people who are trying to influence you. I'm not even getting that this is like, I'm not even getting that this is in like one thing or the other in your life. This could be anything. There could be people who are telling you to not make a change that you feel like you should make. There could be, and sure, we'll take this. Why not? And want it to fall out there. You could have people who tell you that, you shouldn't date a certain person, or, that you shouldn't go get that job or start that business. And again, I feel this is saying, don't allow other people to influence your decisions. You need to make up your own mind about the things that you want to do in your life. Every time I don't listen to myself, I always regret it. I say it all the time. I'm a Pisces, and there are so many things that, Pisces is notorious for just like letting other people make decisions for them. And again, it's funny that you have Hangman and you have the High Priestess here. So, again, Piscean energy. I don't even think you're dealing with a Pisces or anything. I think that this is just a clue for me as a reader that, I feel like the reading is saying like, don't fall into one of those traps where people tell you to do something with your life and it's not their life. So, I really feel part of this reading is, and again, people, I don't think people do this, to be bad people or to like hurt us or anything. I just think that, sometimes people think they're like protecting us or that they're helping us in some way. And when really they're not. So, I feel that this is saying, I kind of feel this reading saying you're about to do something that just other people can't see themselves doing it. And that's why you need to kind of do it. Because, again, these people, they just can't see, they can't see how they could do it. And it's almost like they're judging you or something, right? And I don't even think this has to be a toxic thing. I think that, everybody deals with this. Everybody does it, and all this other stuff. I've had businesses since I was 16 years old. I started my first business, cleaning fish tanks, right? And since then, since I was 16 years old, I've had people telling me, like, oh, business is risky and all this other stuff. Even my grandfather, right? It's like when he, it's like I used to have lunch with him, like every couple of weeks I would go and visit him. And like he would always be asking me, like, when are you going to get a real job? And like all this other stuff. I'm like, I make like 10 times what you ever made in your entire life, right? It's like, what the hell are you talking about? Job, right? So it's like, trust me, you're gonna have people that tell you, don't do this, don't do that, it's risky, and you just have to brush it off and not listen to it, right? And again, I think these people mean well, but it's like, it is what it is. You have these Six of Cups here. Six of Cups is a turnaround. Six of Cups, to me, it can represent a person from the past, and I would be careful of a person. The other thing I'm getting here is that there could be a person that affects your health. I always tell a story. I had a kid working for me like a long time ago when I first started going live, on my channel, like way back in the day, right, when I used to go live every single day. And, I was getting this weird thing where it's like, I was almost like gagging, like I couldn't talk, right, like at the beginning of my lives. And it would take me a while to like shake it off. And it was like affecting my work. And like what I realized, after, is that this kid was super toxic. And like I was always talking to him before, I would do my lives and things like that, right? So again, you have to be careful. Sometimes I think our body can literally reject like people, right? And so maybe you had physical symptoms, with a person in your life. Doesn't have to be love, but it could be. And I kind of feel this was like a clue from the universe, that you need to be careful. So there you go. I also don't feel this has to do with love in your reading, though. Really what I see here is some sort of turnaround in your life. Every once in a while, I feel like the Six of Cups is a gift from the universe, and usually the gift we receive is a turnaround, meaning, we've been bumping up against an obstacle in our life, and the Six of Cups kind of represents removal of whatever that obstacle is, and we can kind of continue on our journey, and that's kind of what I see here. You're clearly stepping into a new life. With the Hangman, you have the Page of Cups. Definitely could be like an admirer coming in for you. Is this like a total love reading? I would say no. I do feel like you're like waking up to love or something, or you're at least opening up to the possibility if you want it. Judgment is kind of like waking up. Then you have Ace of Cups, obviously, to the Queen of Cups. So it kind of tells me that you're opening up your heart here. With the Devil, you have the Nine of Wands. Yes, I feel like you put boundaries up against something that is toxic, and I would maintain those boundaries is what this is saying. I almost get the feeling that this person has done enough damage. It's like the reading is saying like, okay, this person's done enough, and now it's time to maintain those boundaries against toxic people. The other thing is that, again, if people are trying to tell you what to do with your life, then, same thing. I would, put up those boundaries. With the Six of Cups, you have the Star. Yeah, definitely a healing period for you as well. So I feel you could be going through a healing. The Star is also about having a North Star, having something in your life that you work towards, having something in your life that you, work to create or work to build. And, I feel a lot of you could be working on something new. And again, like I said, people in your life might be like, why are you doing this? Blah, blah, blah. And that's all you should hear in your head is blah, 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 right? Don't even listen to whatever else they're saying. And, unless they're offering supportive, good advice. You started with these two cards, this Milk and Honey card and this Mending card. The Mending card is definitely a card of healing. And the Milk and Honey card is like saying that you're stepping into a really good period of your life. So I definitely like to see that. You have this Not For You card, and I kind of feel the Not For You card is saying, that your old story is not for you. And sorry, I almost just messed everything up. So let's not do that. None of you have a clue what I'm talking about, but it doesn't matter. What I would say here is that, again, I think you need to make sure that you don't allow something to, your old story to mess up your new story is kind of what I'm getting. Again, you have the Judgment card. Then in your next row, you have this Coffin card. Coffins in the tarot, oracle cards, they basically represent your old life. Outside the coffin is your new life or your new story, whatever you want to call it. And I feel like this is saying like there's a much better new story coming in for you, but you have to let go of those little bits of your old story so that you can have it. You have the Judgment card, High Priestess, and the Knight of Swords. The Judgment card is about rising up from the coffins there, you can see. And you can see these people rising up and out. The coffin represents their old life. Outside the coffin represents their new life. So, again, I feel like you are being called to... It's like you're being called to greatness here, Sagittarius. Or you're being called to, do something in your life that's going to lift you up or elevate you in some way. And, I feel like you're a little bit concerned here. You have this concern card coming up in your next row. I feel like you're concerned that you won't have the support or, something like that, right? It's like maybe you're concerned that things will get in the way or you'll lose support from people, but I don't think that's true. And, sometimes I think when we level up, we do have to leave certain people in the past, and it just like is what it is, right? You have the High Priestess. I feel like the High Priestess is definitely saying trust your intuition. I kind of feel like your intuition is on fire at this point, or right now. So it's like your intuition is guiding you towards something, and I feel it's guiding you towards a new beginning. You literally go up here to the Six of Swords. Six of Swords is about moving on to calmer shores and moving towards like an improvement in your life. So I feel like you're moving towards improvements, or you're moving towards something that's like bigger and better in your life. And yeah, looks really good. You have the Knight of Swords here. Knight of Swords is like rushing towards success. That's what I feel for you. So I kind of feel like you're rushing towards success. I actually feel pretty good about this. Normally, I do not really like the Knight of Swords. I also normally don't like him because he's rushing towards the past, right? But for whatever reason, I actually feel like you're rushing towards the future. I feel like you're rushing towards your star, something that is very fulfilling. One thing I will say is that I do feel that the Knight of Swords could be saying, like, be careful, again, of a past person, like, rushing into your life. I also always tell people with the Knight of Swords as well that, sometimes the Knight of Swords can represent a person that I just dropped the Queen of Swords. The Knight of Swords can say that you need to be careful of people who like rush in and give you news and get you all worked up without you actually having the details. So I would be careful of those moments. Like if someone comes and tells you something about whatever, and I would make sure to get to the truth, right? I would make sure that you're actually getting the facts and not just just listening to some random person about whatever, right? So but again, you will know what this is. Like if someone comes and tells you something about X, Y, and Z and you get super excited, I feel like you should bring it back down to earth and just be like, wait a minute, let me actually get the details here. With the Judgment card, you have the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords can be lying, cheating, stealing, but it can also be a card of tactics. And again, really, I feel this reading is saying you need to be tactical. It says that there are a million ways to do whatever you want to do, and there's like a million ways you can be successful. But you need to make sure that you are that you kind of just you don't have to go straight towards something. This right here kind of is saying to me that you don't have to go straight to war. The Knight of Swords, the Seven of Swords, he's stealing those swords from an army in the background. So instead of going to war, he's stealing the weapons so that they can't be used against him in battle. And then you go to the Five Wands. So, again, there is something here about like a conflict, and I feel like it's saying instead of having the conflict, is in your life, is there a better way to do it? With the High Priestess, you have the Death card, death, coffins twice, Judgment, the Coffin card, definitely going through a transformation here. I feel like it's something that's going to lead to a lot of happiness and success. With the Knight of Swords, you have the Eight of Swords, only seeing one way of doing things. So again, with that Seven of Swords, I would make sure that you are staying open to all the different ways that there are to do pretty much everything in your life. I feel like that'll lead to the most success and abundance for you with the Eight of Swords. So, again, I would just, make sure that you're kind of like moving in new directions here, and also staying open to all the ways there are to do pretty much everything in your life. Next, in your future position, you have this Concern card and this Coffin card. Again, I would be careful of other people's concern. I feel that for a lot of you, you're making a change. Again, people in our lives, again, I don't think they mean to be this way, right? I don't, it's like, I'm not criticizing the people in your life, but it's like, I think sometimes people don't want us to change. They don't want us to do things that maybe will outshine them, or, whatever the case may be. It might not even be that. Maybe they're afraid to lose you, or they're afraid that you elevating is going to make you leave their life in some way. And, I feel this Coffin card is saying you need to change anyway, because that's what you're supposed to be doing. I do also feel that you're a little bit concerned about the future, but again, I feel like you're heading in the right direction, so it doesn't even matter. You have the Six of Swords, the Ace of Cups, and the Fool. The Six of Swords, of course, is about moving on to calmer shores, so, I feel like you are moving in the right direction here with the Six of Swords. I feel like you're moving towards bigger and better things, more abundance. I also feel you're being guided. This guy back here, he represents a guide, and he goes back and forth between the choppy waters. So I feel for a lot of you, it's like the universe is guiding you towards success, abundance, good things in your life. I feel like the universe is maybe guiding you towards something where there is some competition. But look, you have the Six of Wands right here. Six of Wands is literally beating the competition, standing above the competition, all that other good stuff. You have the Ace of Cups as well. And the Ace of Cups is your emotions overflowing. So I do feel like there is a lot of happiness and abundance coming in for you with the Ace of Cups. I also feel for a lot of you that you could be more, it's like you're more focused on getting into these situations that overflow, right? That's kind of like what I'm getting here, is that you're more focused on getting into situations where there is a better flow of abundance, or, where you're creating more abundance. Something like that is popping into my head here. Next, you have the Fool. And again, I feel like you're going to take a leap of faith. Some of you could be taking a leap of faith towards a love offer here with the Ace of Cups. I feel like this could be a new love connection that you're taking a leap of faith towards. I feel like this is a very kind, caring person. I also feel that, again, if you're taking a leap of faith towards a person, then it feels like a victory with that Six of Wands. On top of that, I'm getting a lot of stuff here on this Fool. If you are taking a leap of faith towards anything new, new business, your current career, whatever it is, I see a lot more fulfillment. Like, I feel like you feel better about what you're doing. I know that sounds like a small thing, but, I literally feel sometimes when you just like feel better about what you're working on, you do better because you're feeling better. So, I kind of get that type of feeling there. I don't know, kind of weird. Let's see. With the Six of Swords, you have the Four of Swords. You have all these cards of healing. So, Star, the Mending card, the Four of Swords, even the Six of Swords could represent leaving something difficult behind and, moving on to calmer shores. So it is kind of like a healing card. So I would take, if you need time to rest, relax, recover, or heal, I would take the time to do that. I also feel there could be like more blessings coming in for you here. So, obviously love to see that as well. With the Ace of Cups, what do you know? I'm just going to show you right here. I feel like you're waking up to a person. You have the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups. It doesn't have to be a water sign, by the way. This could just be a person who's, very emotionally connected. It could also just say that the two of you together are very emotionally connected. So it could be any sign that's coming in for you, but definitely a divine counterpart coming in for you. Again, doesn't matter what gender you're attracted to either. It could be any gender, but I feel the two Cups cards are just talking about like a very, heart-based, probably even soul-based connection. Something where there's a real, where there's a real deep knowing that the two of you are meant to be together. So I feel like a very strong connection. With the Fool, you have the Six of Cups. Like I said, I feel like you're taking this leap of faith. Excuse me. So if you're attracting new love, I really see you attracting a person where it is a leap of faith. It is a little bit of a risk, but, looks like it's going to work out. Also, again, another symbol of, you have the Six of Cups twice. I really feel there's improvements in the form of a turnaround coming into your life. I will say, I love when there are 2 sixes in a row or a column in a reading. 2 sixes to me say that you're on the right path. It's basically, confirmation for your path. So like whatever you're working towards or whatever path you feel like you're on, it is success. It's going to lead to success. 2 sixes this way, 2 sixes this way, 2 sixes this way. So, and you have another 6 here. So like I said, I really kind of feel this is confirmation for your path or whatever you want to call it. For your outcome, you have this card that says setbacks, taking 1 step forward to make 2 steps back. I feel like you're done with this. I feel like that's how you feel. You've been like taking 1 step forward, 2 steps back. I feel like you've been doing trying a lot of things as well, especially in work or business. Maybe you've found yourself doing a lot of experimenting or trying new ideas or different ideas. And sometimes it's 2 steps forward, sometimes it's 10 steps back. And I feel like you're getting away from that. You have this card that says, remember, many of the clouds casting shadows aren't real. So again, all the people that tell you all the things that you need to worry about, I feel like you don't need to worry about it. Just focus on what you feel you need to do. Focus on your heart, focus on what you're being guided to do, and that's going to lead you to success. You have the 5 of Wands, the 6 of Wands, and the Queen of Cups here. The 5 of Wands can represent conflict and competition, but the 5 of Wands is a card of doing it anyway. So I kind of feel that there could be some sort of competition coming up. Or it's not I don't know that it's a competition, right? But it's maybe you want to get a career where there's a lot of competition for the position. Or maybe you're starting a business where there's a lot of competition. I feel like this is saying do it anyway. You are going to be successful. I always look at the 5 of Wands as a card of learning. These people, yeah, they're in conflict, but they are using sticks to fight. They're not using swords. So to me, they are learning how to fight. They are training. So, I feel a lot of you, it's you've gone through a lot of training or you've done a lot of learning in life, and now you're kind of coming out victorious, which we see right here. You have the 6 of Wands. So definitely a big victory coming in for you or a big win. This person here is meant to look jealous. So, I would be careful of jealous people or, people who are talking behind your back and things like that, So again, I feel like there's a big success coming in for you. You have the Queen of Cups, and Queen of Cups, again, is a card of following your heart. She has this big cup here, and I always say that cup, it doesn't even look like a cup. It looks like a trophy. So, I feel that she really values her emotions. She really trusts her feelings as well. And that's exactly what I feel like you need to do is trust your, I feel like above all else, you need to trust your emotions, trust your feelings. And I feel that's what will lead to the most success for you. But let's see here. With the 5 of Wands, you have the 7 of Wands. Yeah, I feel like you need to protect yourself from conflict, of course. But 7 of Wands is kind of my card of drawing a line in the sand. It says that you need to draw that line in the sand with either people, places, or things in your life. And it doesn't have to be even aggressive or mean or anything like that. It can just say, this is what I allow into my life. This is what I don't allow into my life. And you're just getting serious about it. So that's kind of what I feel there. With the 6 of Wands, you have the 5 of Swords. Yes, winning at all costs. I would be careful of winning at all costs or needing to be right at this time. I would just try to let things go. But I also, again, I do feel if you've been dealing with any conflicts, the 6 of Wands really say that you are coming out on top. You are going to be victorious. On top of that, 5 of Swords to me is a card of taking a risk. And, it's a risk that can pay off. And with the Fool, 6 of Wands here, I really do feel that there could be a risk that you're taking, probably something that you've never done before. And this could be in any area of your life, and I really feel you need to do it. Because again, I get that feeling that the risk will pay off. Or, this reading is really saying to me kind of that whatever this risk is, it's going to be worth it. So, I would go for it. With the Queen of Cups, you have the Hermit here. I feel like you've been through it. You've been through a dark night of the soul with the Hermit, and now you're coming out on top. And, I kind of feel bad about this, if I'm being honest with you, with the Hermit. It's on one hand, I feel like you've been through it, blah, blah, blah. It's good that you're kind of overcoming these obstacles and things like that. On the other hand, I feel there's a minor challenge here that's saying, sometimes we go through something very painful, like a dark night of the soul, and we don't want to do it again. So then we're afraid to take risks because we're oh, if I take a risk again, I'm just going to get punished like I did in the past, right? So I feel like this is saying, it's well, no, you've learned. There's a lot of learning cards going on here. And so it's like, it's safe. The reason it's safe to take a risk at this time is because you have learned. So just like a little bit of a mindset shift there for you. And, again, I feel like that will lead to you being successful. We're going to do 5 main themes now. You have this card that says new home, new attitude. So some of you could be moving or traveling. Again, there's something new. Clearly, you have all these coffins showing up in your reading. So it's like you're letting go of the old life, stepping into the new life. And yeah, I feel like that's going to be very good for you. You have this ink pot card that says problems to be resolved. I really just feel this is people. Again, I get that feeling of you getting excited about ideas, people saying like, telling you all the reasons that it won't work. So number 1, make sure to only share your ideas with people who are supportive. Number 2, if people say those things, just ignore it, plain and simple, right? It's like, when you think about it, if you poured ink all over something, it would ruin it. That's kind of like how I'm seeing it in my head. It's almost like people are telling you all the reasons of why something you're doing won't work. And I feel like you just only need to listen to yourself, your own reasons of why it will work. So, might be a good time to just keep your ideas to yourself anyway. You have this cobweb card that says protected from negative forces beyond your control. So yeah, if you're like worried that bad things are going to happen or anything, I would let those fears go. It's like you are protected. You have this cow where it says solid foundation, success with effort. I really feel like you're building a lot of success. Again, out of all the signs, Sagittarius, I feel that you have the best opportunity to build something new in your life, whatever it is, new business, new career, new life, new story. It doesn't really matter. I would get to work. I feel like you'll be successful. And finally, you have this rose card that says romance is in the air. Yes, definitely love showing up here. It could be a Virgo. You have a bunch of Virgo cards. That health card is the sun in Virgo. You have the hermit here as well, which, obviously could be a Virgo. So, could be a Virgo, could be any sign. Like I said, general reading, but definitely could be love. But I love this reading for you here, Sag. Looks really good. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your week.